Well, I talk about my family a lot in my hit off-Broadway solo show, Hebrew School Dropout, now playing at the Actors Temple Theater on West 47th Street. You can get tickets on telecharge.com. New York Times said laugh out loud funny, so, it must be true because it was in the New York Times. My family, my family now? I've got 4 kids, which is a lot of kids, So, I love them, but you really don't need that many kids. Frankly, it's ostentatious. You got 4 kids, you're really approaching Von Trapp family singers territory with 4 kids. You got 4 kids, they should be wearing lederhosen and fleeing the Nazis and singing Edelweiss. See, the problem with having 4 kids is you're outnumbered. And sooner or later, they figure that out. You got 1 kid, you and your wife got a fighting chance. You got 2 kids, you're evenly matched. You go over 2, you're outnumbered. I just know the day's coming when I'm going to say to one of my kids, get in there and clean up your room. They're going to say, oh yeah? There's 4 of us, there's 2 of you. Why don't you get in there and clean up my room? And as long as we're talking, let's talk about my allowance, shall we? That's a nice Ford minivan you and Mommy are driving. Be a shame if something would have happened to it. Yeah, we don't have any video systems in our house, primarily because I find them very addictive. My wife is a writer, and she wrote for the Topps Bubblegum Company, and she had to write the back of the cards for a game called Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a video game. So they sent the system over to our house so we could watch the game, so she could figure it out, so she could write the dopey cards. And I stayed up for about 8 days straight with no sleep, playing Sonic the Hedgehog. So we finally had to get the system out of the house. Ever since then, no video game systems are allowed in our house, primarily because of my addictive personality. So the kids have never had any of them in the house. So I would advise that you have a video game addict in the house at all times, and that way you'll keep the video games out of the house. But our kids have never had them. We don't do that. And then I yell at the kids a lot. I just yell at them. I just yell at them to get the hell off the computer. And if you're watching this, get off the computer. Get off the computer now. Go outside and play. Not you. That's for my kids. You can stay and watch. Well, my daughter is a teenager now. So there was a time in my daughter's life when when I would come home and she would run to the door and say, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." That time is over. My daughter barely tolerates me, so that's the challenge, I guess, is just recognizing that hopefully she won't be a teenager forever. And just getting that sense of perspective on the whole thing. She's a great kid, don't get me wrong, but teenagers are, boy, I'll tell you. My advice, any couples out there just starting out, young couples, you want to have a family, adopt like an older child. Just bypass the whole baby, toddler, teenage thing. Adopt like a middle-aged guy, like some guy in his 40s, like an accountant who can help you with your taxes. This is our new son, Mr. Goldstein. He's a big fella. Boy weighs over 200 pounds. Smart as a whip, too. Just took his prostate exam, scored extremely high.